you said, it's a very insightful book, one that every entrepreneur should read. And the name of the author is actually Guy Raz, right? So I have a couple of interesting facts about this guy. Yeah. So first off, okay, hi KD. Okay, I think KD is connecting to audio. I want to familiarize with everybody. Great. Hi KD, welcome. Hi KD, welcome to today's book review session. Can KD hear us? I doubt. Okay. Yeah, so as I was saying, so we have a couple of interesting facts about Guy Raz. First of which, his name is Guy, right? I really don't know what the concept, what that concept is all about, naming somebody Guy, but then we move. So second of all is that he's actually one of the most popular podcasters, as rated by the New York Times, right? He even has about 19.2 monthly downloads in terms of podcasts now. So someone who has that amazing amount of reach, right, with podcasts, not just even songs or anything. Someone who has that kind of reach, that definitely this guy is, spitting facts, right? So that's what I have to say about Guy Raz.
Okay, thank you so much, Pelumi. I think one thing that Pelumi failed to mention was that he has interviewed more than 200 highly successful entrepreneurs, and so something that I said before. And this book, How I Built This, just explains how an entrepreneur journey should look like from the early days of formulating ideas, putting one and two things together, to raising funds, raising money, to staffing the right competent talent that would run your company as effectively as it should run, and to generally becoming successful, and how to plan your finances right, that you be able to take this company to the next level. So this book is so insightful, and it's, like I said, it's one book that I'm looking forward to. So without any other things stopping us, we're just going to move on into the book. Now, the book opens with a saying by Reid Hoffman, and it says that starting a company is like throwing yourself off a cliff and then assembling a plane as you jump down. Now, like, this saying is so how will I put it? It's so alarming, because if you're like, okay, wow, is this how starting a company is like? Is it this scary? Because I don't think anybody would enjoy jumping off a cliff or a plane and without any parachutes, without any support system, with nothing, and then have a good time doing it. I don't think anybody would like that experience. But that is actually, it's just like a metaphor of what starting a business is like. It's basically jumping head on and just hoping for the very best. Okay, but it's the next thing that this book now explains is that you could actually put safety measures in place, that just in case things don't turn out right, because it's not every business that people hope to start or people begin to formulate that actually become successful in the long run. So it tells us that instead of just jumping head on and just like putting all your faith, all your hope, all your eggs in one basket, you can actually jump with a reliable parachute. Okay, so it tells us for example, Spank's current CEO, when she started Spank, even after what Oprah actually mentioned her in a TV show and told people how great this product is and gave all these wonderful reviews of the product. The Spank CEO, and I think everybody knows Spank. If you don't know Spank, I feel like you should just show your hands or something. Spank is like I think women will know it more than men. So I don't want to like waste time explaining the product, but it's basically a product that is of the woman body shape, basically, to output. Okay, so she actually still held on to her sales job. She was into sales, And for a long time, even after starting Spanx and it's growing and growing, she held on to that safety net, to that 9 to 5 kind of job, just in case anything goes wrong. You have to be very logical as an entrepreneur. And that's one thing that we actually outlined last week. You have to be logical. You can't say, oh, I'm doing things out of emotions. You can't let emotions move you as an entrepreneur. So if you're not joining this book every Friday, I think you're in the wrong, because it is teaching you so much that you should know. Okay. Next, it tells us, okay, how do I actually, now that I know that I'm supposed to jump with a safety net, I'm supposed to jump with a parachute in mind, how do I begin to build my aeroplane? Okay. So can anybody just like give us an idea of, okay, what is the next step? What am I supposed to do? Okay, anybody? Someone should talk. This is an interactive section. It's not for just me to talk. Anyone? Any idea whatsoever? You can just say something. What step do you think I should go into? Okay, I'll give everybody an hint. So before I start a product, what do? It starts with an imagination, right? So what do you think the next step should be? I just gave you an hint. Starting a product starts with an imagination. What should the next step be? Pelumi, do you want to?
Yes, talk to Hexavian. Right.
Talk to Xavier. That's a good one too, because I think everyone knows that Xavier is a consulting firm and we build system structures, marketing strategy for people really. But the next step, actually, even before talking to Xavier, Pelumi, sorry for that, is actually you should know what you want to do. Okay? What do I want to do? What products would I like to push out? Would I like to show to the world? And this product shouldn't be one that, okay, I think I can do this. I think I can do this. It's very important. I'll keep on saying it, that as an entrepreneur, you don't make whimsical decisions out of emotional situations. Okay. So you think it's a combination of two things: logical reasoning and passion. Okay. Let's say, okay, I feel like there's a space and people are not having, maybe let me just give an example, the right diet. Okay. And I'm someone who likes to work out, likes to monitor my calories, likes to make sure that I'm eating the right way, basically. So you see, okay, there's a space, there's a gap in the market, and there's something I like to do. So you merge those two things together. It has to be equal part this and equal part that. You can't just say, oh, my friend is, or a friend of mine, a partner of mine, or maybe someone that mentors me is into this, and I feel like I can do this too. It has to be, and it's not something that you just feel like one day you wake up and be like, oh, I think I like this, and then I feel like there's a gap in the market. So you also have to do your research. How do you know there's a gap in the market? Logical reasoning. You have to be logical. You have to make your research. You have to know, is this really a gap, or is this simply my imagination? Have I done my research enough to fully understand how big of a gap there is in the market? Do I have competition? How does my competition do this? How does my competitor, do this? How do people do this? How would people want to do this? How can I improve this product so that I am above my competitors? You have to put all those logical reasoning in place. And that's why I said that if you have not read this book, please drop your email in the chat box and we will send you this book. But this book is it's like an handy book, a Bible for an entrepreneur, really. Okay, so let's go in. I'll go in with an example. There's a luggage company called Away. If you know the new designs of luggage that looks like a box now, that the top is I think everybody knows it, but do you know it's this new luggage that's kind of a box? It's no longer that clothy.
Yeah.
Exactly. That brand, that design was formulated by a company called Away. And the woman that actually made that design, it started actually from a story. She was she was working for a company, and when she was trying to like board a plane, I think something caught her bag or something, and then she had to carry her clothes and in like plastic bags, and it was like she just felt sad. And like I think some people have been in that situation where things just don't work out, and then your bag tears, something happens. And she was like, okay, she was going to, once she gets back from my flight, from my trip, she was going to find luggage, and she was looking, and she couldn't find the right luggage. Every luggage that seemed right was actually more expensive than you could ever hope to buy, more expensive than the plane tickets. So she was like, there are ways that I could buy a very like a quality luggage and still have that that design and functionality that I want to. So she started making research from someone who had no idea of how it is built, what people think about, like the product design of that goes into a luggage design. Basically, she started making a research. She started going to luggage warehouses, shops. She started asking people questions. How do you pack? What do you hope to fit into your luggage? What is the correct size? What correct size do you think a luggage should be? She's asking all these different questions never be underestimated when starting as an entrepreneur. Ask questions and ask it to the right person, the right people. Okay, so she started asking open-ended questions. Sometimes she would even go to a friend's house and check, okay, what are they, how are they packing? And all this was just to formulate that ideal age that is so popular everywhere. It looks like it just popped up out of nowhere, and now every brand is copying it, everyone is doing it. And that thing that was highlighted in this, once you know you made a good brand, once you know you did the right thing, you checked all your boxes, you asked the right questions, you put the right things in place, you will find out that your competitors will start copying you basically. And that is when you know you're doing something good. That is when you know that, okay, I actually did to do. Okay. So now we have answered the question of vessel. Okay. We have the product ideas. We have made research. We have asked the right people the right questions. We have basically done what we are meant to do. What is the next step? Any questions? Any opinions? Anything? What do you think the next step is? Nobody can. Okay. Okay, who can give me a recap of okay what I just said, and how do you think that it's applicable to your business? Samuel, I think Samuel wants to talk. Samuel, please go on. Okay. Samuel isn't talking.
So I feel like a couple of us just actually joined midway. So, and no one is actually doing our tradition here. Please, guys, welcome. If you were here last week, welcome. If this is your first time, welcome. Please let's not forget to introduce ourselves in the chat box, just your name and just a few lines about what you do, who you are, basically here. Today we're reviewing the book How I Built This by Guy Raz. And Shannon has actually given us an introduction into the book, a couple of points, how a couple of things have happened. And she's asking for a recap, but nobody wants to say anything. It's because we've not started imposing penalties here. That's what
I think everybody is actually shy. There's no right answer actually, so anybody can just talk. But for people that are just joining us, we started with a saying that starting a company is like throwing yourself off a cliff or an airplane, and then assembling an airplane as you go down, basically. And then we move to building the vessel, which is our products. We think about our products, we make the right research about we make sure that we have done all that is meant to be done, the research, we have tested, We have done everything that will solve the problem that we think is in the market, that will fill the gap in the market. And that's what basically we have been talking about since we started.
Okay. Shalom, let me just chip a couple of things in.
Sure, no
Before
problem.
you continue.
Hmm?
Okay. You guys know I'm the question guy, right? I'm definitely going to ask questions, but no problem, right? And thank you so much, Sharon, for introduction and contributions, right? How I built this is actually a book, like Sharon said, a book that every entrepreneur should actually be conversant with. And it explains that we all know successful people, right? We know the likes of Steve Jobs, bringing it home now, likes of Dangote, Tony Lumelu, and all that. But that's not, the book is not here to describe these guys. But what the book actually says is actually encapsulated in this saying by Guy Raz, right? He said, at the deepest level, how I built this is about who these successful entrepreneurs were when they were lying on the bathroom floor, crying about a failure or crisis, because that is relatable for all of us, right? So we're not here to talk about the investments they made when they were successful. I have to talk about, like we discussed a couple of book reviews ago, inflection points, right? The different points that these guys go through just before they actually make it, right? And to be honest, everybody's story has almost the same structure. It always starts with that somebody has an idea, right? Like Shalom said, you had a very crazy idea, a very disruptive idea, and then you told your friends, but then people were like, what was this that this person is saying? Can you hear yourself? Do you get that? And then from there, the person doesn't answer, he goes on and then actually carries out his stuff. And then he faces hurdles and challenges, right? But then something happens and then makes him overcome all these challenges and then he goes big. That's really what happens to everyone, right? And what Guy Raz actually does in this book is to break down the different stages that we go through, right? I feel like every book we discuss is always inclined towards that, being successful in whatever you're doing. Yeah, and Salom already talked about the initial steps. I'll just say a couple of things on other things that we need to know before she continues, right? So the second chapter actually talks about having a strong support system. Okay, it's great to have a crazy idea. It's great to have a disruptive idea, right? But then you should always have a partner. I'm not saying someone who has ownership in your business. You don't necessarily need to have ownership in your business, but someone who you can actually cry your heart out to. I'll give you an example. We all know Steve Jobs, right? We know he's the founder of Apple, right? But many people do not know that there's somebody called Steve Wozniak. Two of them actually started Apple, right, together. Okay, so two of them actually started Apple together. And Steve Jobs is this guy that had the whole idea, the tech guy and everything. But then Wozniak was the people person, the guy who brought customers, the guy who brought relationships, really. And if not for Wozniak, Apple will probably not be Apple today. So that's the whole importance of having a very strong support system, right? Someone you can always, cry your heart out to, someone who, you can actually depend on. Because to be honest, starting something alone is not easy, at least for many people, right? For most people, right? So this book actually emphasizes on having a good support system. And one more thing before I hand over to Shalom, chapter 3 actually talks about positioning yourself creatively, right? So it's one thing to come into the market and then do what everybody has been doing. That really takes you nowhere. Fine, you might be profitable with your business, great, thumbs up. But then let's look at the possibility of what actually disrupting the market, right? Stealing other people's customers, really. Because he actually gave a couple of examples in the book that I feel like if we talk about these examples, we're not going to leave it till 9 p.m. Right? One of them is this beer, this 5-minute beer. I'm actually forgetting the name of the company. So there's Monster, there's Red Bull, there's all other energy drinks, right? That come in cans and bottles. And then there's this guy, I really can't, Shalom, can you remember the name of the company? the 5 minutes.
I think energy or something. It's
Yes.
an energy drink in a very small bottle.
Exactly. So you realize that, you walk into stores, open the refrigerator, and then pick out Monster, But then he said, okay, I'm not going to do this, right? Let me position myself, my brand creatively, and then just created a bottle that was just, 2 ounces, right? You just take 2 shots and all that, and they gave it a very, very creative name. So something like that, doing stuff that, makes everybody think differently. There's this example too of Red Bull, right? Red Bull did something very crazy, and people actually don't understand the reason behind that. They, took Red Bull cans, and after parties, they'll just take empty cans and then toss them into trash of people's trash, right? So at a particular point in time, everybody kept seeing Red Bull in people's cans, Red Bull, So in their minds, the psychology was that people are actually drinking Red Bull, right? So let me actually also take Red Bull alone, just skyrocketed their sales. So doing something let me drop one other example. Shalom, come me, right? Colgate, I'm very sure we know Colgate too. This toothpaste, company. What they did, I don't know if just toothpaste they do, but what they did was to enter into a partnership with a particular ice cream company, right? And then they agreed to, make their ice cream cones in the shape of a toothbrush that had Colgate logo on it. So by the time, am I audible? Let's tell me my connection is stable. Hi, Shalom, can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, you're breaking kind of, or you're audible.
How about now? Can you hear me?
It's better. It's much better.
Okay, yeah. So as I was saying, so they made ice creams that had the shape of toothbrushes, right, with Colgate logo on it. So by the time people finish taking their ice creams, what they'll be left with is something that looks like a toothbrush and then Colgate logo on it. And then they term the campaign, don't forget to brush your teeth after taking your ice cream. So doing something different from what other people, I feel like this is one particular point we say every session of our book reviews, right? So yeah, those are like 2 solid steps that Guy actually suggested. So over to you, Shalom. I'm coming for my questions. So once Shalom is done with that session, I'm coming for my questions.
Oh, thank you. That was really amazing. Really, it was insightful. You really talked about a lot of things that I just felt like it shouldn't be removed from the book. It tells us that we should think about something different. Okay, look at yourself, look at your product, look at what I'm doing. Is it different? Maybe it's because of I'm not different, and that's why I'm not reaching my target market, so I'm not selling as much as I should. I think I'll give another example. I don't know the name of the company, neither do I know the name of the CEO. But there was something that was really a wave, I think 2 years ago, was this magnetic lashes. I think if you're a woman, you would know what I'm talking about. And it was everywhere. People don't understand about that magnetic lashes was that it started 6 months ago. And 6 months after, it had reached everywhere. It was on all social media. About it. Why was there such a buzz around it? Well, it's actually because it was something different. It was something that nobody actually talked about. It was easy, it was fast. I did not have to start looking for a lash glue. I did not have to start thinking about it I just had to put it and it stayed put. There was not too much stress with it. And that's the thing about doing something different. Some people want unique things. The same old things become boring as time goes on. So what are you doing that's actually different? You actually have to ask yourself that. Now we move on to the next part of assembling our aeroplane. And for those who are just joining on, my name is Shalom. We are talking on How I Built This by Guy Raz. Okay. So next, we are building the wings of our aeroplane. And what is that wings? It's our strategy. Okay. So we talk about what is this? What is our wings? It's actually our story and our positioning. And people are like, okay, what is this? Am I trying to get them to have an emotional story around my product? Well, I would just explain it as you have to have something that even if it's the same old thing, it makes you unique with the packaging or the story behind that product. And I think this example will just make it more, explain it more. There's a energy bar basically, and there were a lot of energy bars in the supermarkets. There were lots, different products, different brands. But what made this energy bar stand out and became popular among people who were trying to buff up in the gym or trying to build that muscle and all, was because of they actually told you what was being put inside. At the very front, in bold letters, they said that it was just 6 almonds, 3 dates, 3 white eggs, and there was nothing more. There was nothing more. They made publicity around filming in their factory. They made publicity around talking with their the people who made the products. They made publicity around everything. They went to events and they made the right in front of people, right in the gyms, right in front of their target audience, them that there is nothing else we're putting into this product. And there was nothing less that we're putting into this product than what we told you. And this just made people who were very were, what do you call it, cautious of the things they put into their body, become attracted to that product. And that's the story. That is a story behind that product that just makes that product unique. Okay, I am not putting anything more than the company is telling me, and you can trust the company because of the campaign they built, the story they tell, just makes you put trust in that company. And there is important or more wonderful than when your customers trust you. Okay, so now we have built our wings. Now we are beginning. The aeroplane is almost finished, basically, in a sense. What is the next step? We ask ourselves. We have our product, we have done our research, we have done our testing, we have asked questions, we have built our product, we have built a story behind our product, we have in the right places, and that will talk about the target audience. Okay, I think I forgot to mention about this protein bar was that when they started selling their product, they only sold it in gyms and gyms only. They didn't sell it anywhere else. So like they were not seen as a competition because they were like just in very few places. They were just in gyms and they were nowhere else. They were not in supermarkets. They were nothing else. They were in gyms and they were on their, that was it. So people didn't really see them as a customer until it blew and everyone was talking about it. That is your story, your positioning. I know there was one thing we also highlighted last week. If you did not attend last week book review, please ask for a recording because it's very important. Follow through